Hi, and welcome to the Ultimate Beginner's Guide to the First Descendant. Firstly, I want to say that the launch of the First Descendant was indeed very mixed. A lot of people are very disappointed and infuriated at the lack of control and preparation Nexon had, especially with the in-game purchases regarding the premium currency. However, I want to say that if you're on the fence about the game or experienced the bad events in the first day, I highly suggest you give the game another chance. With that out of the way, let's get on to the guide. I've added timestamps to help you navigate as it may be long. Also, if you're not interested in certain topics, feel free to skip past them. One of the first things you will think about when, and even before starting the game, is who am I going to play or main? While I won't go into character details in this video, I want to show off the character prices in the game store, as well as who not to buy, as they either come for free in the story or is easily farmable. Keep in mind, you'll be able to choose between one of the 3 descendants when logging into the game, those being Viessa, Lepic, and Ajax. The ones you don't choose, you can farm later on. So here are the prices regarding each descendant, and as you can see, the prices do vary, and that comes with the difficulty, or rather the progress needed to obtain these more expensive descendants. If you are interested in purchasing one, there is the option to purchase the Descendant package, which comes with both a ticket to claim one of your chosen descendants, 2 free-day 30% boosts for both Descendant and Weapon XP, and a character slot. This is all for an extra 100 caliber, which is about $3 extra. Characters I highly suggest not to buy are both Bunny and Freyna. Both of these characters are extremely cheap, however Bunny is given out pretty much completely for free very early on if you follow the main story. Freyna, on the other hand, isn't as easily obtained, but can be farmed significantly faster than all of the descendants due to a quest which gives out her parts fully crafted at a 20% chance when you do one of her missions. This will take several hours, as you will have to go through the story to reach Vespers. This is the 3rd area, then farm her parts, which will take another 1 or 2 hours, maybe longer if you're unlucky, then 16 hours for her to fully craft. If you are keen on playing her early, by all means, buy her. Next, let's talk about weapons, the bread and butter of any looter shooter. There are a plethora of weapons in the First Descendant. Pistols, revolvers, assault rifles, SMGs, snipers, and more. As always, the rarity does matter. Blues are common in this game, purples are rare and will roll with substats, and so will yellow or the gold, that are the ultimate weapons that also roll with substats. There is also an orange rarity called Transcendent, though I've yet to see anything but Descendant augments as that rarity. You can use whatever you'd like, however, each weapon will have its own unique ammo type. There are 4 ammo types in the game: General, indicated by white, Special as orange, Impact as green, and High Power as purple. Most common guns like assault rifles and SMGs will fit into the general ammo type. However, revolvers or hand cannons will be an impact ammo type. Burst rifles and beam rifles are special ammo types, and the hardest hitting weapons like grenade launchers, snipers, and shotguns will be high power. These ammo types are not equal, however, as most commonly enemies will drop general rounds, special rounds, and impact rounds kind of equally, though I'm not entirely sure. But high power rounds are much rarer, so use them wisely. Using multiple guns of the same ammo type will use the same ammo pool. To make the most out of your ammo, choose guns that will have different ammo types to prevent yourself from getting into situations where you are completely empty and have to result in punching. Yeah, that's not a great plan. Alongside the ammo types and the type of weapon, you can find these funny symbols next to each one. This is the type of physical damage you will do with this weapon. There is Burst, Crush, and Pierce. Associated with the type of weapon you use, this is a rock, paper, scissors type of weakness in this game. Burst beats Pierce, Pierce beats Crush, and Crush beats Burst. As you play through the game, feel free to replace and dismantle guns as you please. If you find a gun you really like, you can keep it in your storage container or favorite it to prevent it getting dismantled. If there's a specific gun you take a liking to, you can keep that gun, even if it's a low level, because there are items called phase exchanges These will move levels from one gun to another, making that weapon usable for your level of content. You can craft these for low costs. There are two types of phase exchanges, normal and precision. Normal can be used on both common and rare weapons, however rare weapons will cost 4, and precision phase exchanges can be used on ultimate weapons and only cost 1. You have to go to this machine called the workbench, and here you have the options to increase your weapon levels by using the phase exchanger, reroll your substats, upgrade ultimate weapon perks, and rank up reactors. On the other side of the inventory menu, you have reactors at the top and external components at the bottom. Reactors will be your overall skill power as they increase the damage of your skills. Most of the early reactors will be blue, occasionally purple, and rarely ultimate. The main difference is the increase in the skill strength. Reactors are also separated by the elements: fire, ice, electric, toxin, and non-attribute. You want to match your Descendant's element with the reactor that you own. To easily see what element your Descendant is, you can open your inventory and see by looking on the left next to your Descendant level in the top left. If you want to know other Descendant elements, you can do this by going into the Descendant select screen and hovering over an ability, and there it will show you as all the abilities will have the same element. Reactors also have two more unique and possibly confusing traits. We can start by talking about the types of skills and the categories they come in: singular, tech, fusion, and dimension. All Descendants only have two types. You can check your skill type by checking the Descendant the selection screen and hovering over the skills. The reactors will come with one of the 4 categories and give a bonus to that category. The easiest way to check if your Descendant uses the category is by checking the boxes in the reactor tooltip. A tick means yes, empty means no. The same will go for the elemental bonus. Then there is optimization. This only appears on purple quality or gold, and basically it can give you a bonus increase in skill power if you meet the requirement. Usually this is just equipping a specific weapon type, or sometimes a specific ultimate weapon. You can see the increase here, and if you successfully fulfilled the optimization, it will say reached, otherwise it will say missed. External components will only give you defensive stats. There really isn't too much to this, so just equip what you think is best. That will be most likely whatever the highest level is. You can dismantle the rest. Playing through the game will mean that you'll be dismantling a lot due to the limited inventory space. You could opt to purchase more, but I would advise against that. Otherwise, here's a quick tip to dismantle a bulk amount in your inventory. You can hover over an item and press the corresponding button to mark as junk, but this isn't great if you have 20 plus more items if you want to dismantle. That's going to take a while. So you can press the filter all as junk at the bottom of the page here to select what you want to mark as junk. Easiest way I found is setting the level to about 2 to 3 levels below your highest item. That way you don't have to have too much hassle. This could also be applied to the mod menu here, where there exists a button down here to sell all duplicate mods. Skills are your Descendant's powerful abilities that you can use in combat and in the open world. As you begin, you won't have all the skills unlocked, as you will need to increase the level of your Descendant to unlock the rest of your skills. Skills also level up as you keep leveling up your Descendant up to a maximum of level 4. All skills will require some sort of cost, and most of them will have a cooldown associated with them. Most skills will use mana, the blue bar. This doesn't regen in combat, and can only be recovered by picking up blue mana orbs that occasionally drop from enemies. Mana can also sometimes be regenerated by having specific external components. Mana otherwise can also slowly regenerate out of combat if you don't use skills for some time. Mana will also be refilled on a Descendant level up, so don't be afraid to use your skills and have fun. Other skills might use a different resource relative to the Descendant. Bunny, for example, will use electricity that she builds up while running. Okay, let's talk about leveling. So there are the 4 distinct things that have levels, so let's go over them so you don't get confused. There is item level. This is the number seen on the sides of your weapons, reactors, and external components. This determines the strength of the gear, where you've got it, and so on. Next we have proficiency level. This can be seen by hovering over any type of weapon, and this goes up to, I think, a max of 40. The more you use the weapon, the higher the proficiency. Then we have Descendant level. This is, well, you know, the level of your Descendant, max level is 40. Lastly, we have mastery rank, or for simple terms, account level. This is the level of your account, such as weapon proficiency, descendant levels, and certain missions will contribute to that. Increasing this will increase the capacity for mods and give you more inventory space to a max of 30. You'll know when you can rank up when the game screams at you constantly with this giant ass text to rank up. Then go to the big glowy marker in Albion when you spawn in on your left, get touched by these hands, and be on your merry way. Okay, so I'll briefly talk about modding, but modding is a large topic overall, so I want to keep it simple for this guide. To apply mods, press this icon next to your weapon. Here you can apply any mod you think will make it do more damage. Mods such as crit rates, weak point damage are all good additions. In particular, if you want extra damage, rifling reinforcement straight up gives you some extra damage. If modding is too much of a hassle for you in the early game, you can go on the right hand side and click on the equip recommended module, click confirm, and press save, and then you will be ready to go. These mods will persist on that specific weapon with the same name, so if you dismantle said weapon and get the same weapon later on at a high level, it will have the same mods as before. It is very difficult to suggest descendant mods, as different descendants will want different stats. For example, on my bunny build, I have a lot of range, some cooldown reduction, and some extra duration. Otherwise, you can press the equip recommended module again on the right hand side and it will do it for you. Give this video a like if you're enjoying it so far. I do hope it will come in handy for most of you starting out. Consider subscribing, as I will be posting more First Descendant content soon. Thanks, on with the video. With all the systems out of the way, let's talk about the world. Albion will be your home base, where you will do all your crafting, socializing, storing, practicing, and so on. Get familiar with this location. Most importantly, know that there are two fast travel locations. One is where you spawn normally, and the other is to the left, called City Entrance. This will take you closer to Anise, I have no idea, the crafting lady, and also Cillion, the modman. Next, we'll talk about the Ecive. This handy little thing will allow you to see certain things, such as containers, enemy weaknesses, and specifically where to shoot certain enemies like the Colossi. Pressing tab on PC, not sure on console, will bring up the Ecive. These diamonds around the area will show containers. Containers and boxes around the world will contain crafting materials, so it's never a bad idea to grab some along the way to your next objective. Using the Ecive around enemies will show their weaknesses, the elemental weaknesses, as well as the physical weaknesses. You will know when you're doing extra damage when you see green numbers show up. If you hear a pinging noise like this, you can follow it to find these weird lockbox people, which you will need a special item to unlock. A quest will require you to unlock 2 of these creepy buggers. You will need code analyzers to open one of these. So far, these seem to be random drops from mobs in the world. These different rarities of precision analyzers are for specific lockbox people that look slightly different, either with a gold accent or something else, such as this one. You can check if you have any of these code analyzers if you go into your inventory and click on the consumable tab, and in there you can go into the miscellaneous tab and you can find them there. Each area on the map is called a battlefield. Most battlefields have around 3 battlefield missions. It can be less or more depending on where you are, but usually around 3, and these are usually part of the main story quest. Some battlefields might have extra fast travel locations indicated by this grey marker here. You can travel to this location and then it will be activated for you for next time. Some other missions might throw you off, such as the Void Fragment and the Void Reactor missions. These come up slightly later on and is briefly spoken about in a tutorial, but I don't think it's done very well. But basically, Void Fragment missions require you to bring a certain element in the Descendant as seen on the map. Example. You will need to attack the fragment with a damaging ability. Then you'll need to kill enemies, hit the fragment again, do this until it breaks, then you are rewarded with fragments. You can use these fragments to open the Void Fusion Reactor. You can see what types of fragments you need by hovering over on the map. Start the mission, you beat the boss, you get some rewards. Lastly, outposts. These are timed missions that require you to break these little boxes, then kill the boss within the time limit. You can also hack the boxes, and if you get all 3 without being detected, you will get an additional reward. After beating the mission goes on cooldown. You may also come across these strange little towers out in the open world. With their symbol, you can go there and interact with them, and they will reduce the amount of enemies that will spawn during the Outpost mission. Later on, you'll also unlock special operations. These are special missions that require you to fight hordes of enemies that get increasingly harder as the waves go up. You get rewards such as gold, amorphous material, or shaped stabilizer forms. As a beginner, don't worry too much about these. However, I have to say that the best place to level up weapons and characters is by doing the special operation in Kingston. I suggest only going up to wave 7 if you're unprepared and low level, or you can do 10 if you're slightly better geared or higher level. This can easily get you up to 10 to 15 levels if you're starting at level 1. However, it does take around 20 minutes per run, so keep that in mind. Now you know the systems as well as the general gist of the game. So now what? You've gotten decently far, but you want to try a different Descendant, you want to get a new ultimate weapon. How do you do that? Good question. So the system itself is kind of convoluted, but I'll do my best to guide you. You should know what you want to grind for, whether it be a Descendant, a weapon. Once you know, open up the Access Info tab by opening up the map and tapping over. Here will be where you can search for the materials needed to craft your desired piece of gear or Descendant. For example, if I wanted to craft a Glay, I should go into the Descendants, go to Glay, and here you're shown all the materials needed to craft it. There are 4 materials, 3 of which you need to craft before you can start crafting Glay as a whole. For example, to get this enhanced cells blueprint, it says I need to open a amorphous material pattern 12, which I will need to farm for, and then I will need to have to beat Stunning Beauty to open it. The others are grayed out, which means I don't have access to that content yet, so don't worry about it. If you click on the amorphous material, it will show the location where you can farm these. You can also check the amorphous material menu to see what other items are within the amorphous material. You can also see what shape stabilizer you can use or you need, and then see what the chances are to get certain materials. The rare materials will go up in chance, whereas the more common materials will drop. This menu also shows how to open said amorphous material. Most of these can be opened by finishing a Void Intercept battle. However, some of these can be opened by doing a previously mentioned Void Fusion Reactor mission. You can even register some of these items as targets by pressing the key to track them in the menu. So that's all I think you should know as a beginner. So get out there and start grinding. I just want to apologize because the video ended up longer than I expected it to be. More and more things ended up coming up. I also apologize that my voice, I slurred a few words because I'm pretty tired. Tried to rush this out as fast as I could for you guys. But thank you for making it all the way to the end. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below to tell me what you think of the game. If I missed anything, or if you have any questions, please also just leave a comment. I'll be streaming daily this week at Twitch. Link in the description. Consider dropping by to say hi or ask me any question that you have. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching and have a lovely day.